Hey, welcome everyone. In this video, I'm teaching you how to try the most popular Linux distributions with just a few clicks and zero installation, zero downloading, like zero brain work. Pretty much how my brain works almost 24/7. Zero usage. It's just there, dormant, doing stuff. Anyway, so this is really cool because, people keep saying it's the year of Linux. They said it in 2025, the 2026, with the whole Valve using SteamOS, this and that. It's not, okay? We still have a long way to go, but we're going in the right direction. But one of the things, of course, with Linux is that a lot of people tend to think like it uses command line. You have to know a lot of terminal commands and whatnot. Some of the more hardcore users will. I don't. I work in IT and cybersecurity for almost 11 years. I just want the GUI to just work. And that's going to be demonstrating for you is that you can find what works for you in Linux. So we're going to go into this website called DistroSea.com. And I'll put a link to the website in the video description. I think it's phenomenal. And the reason we're going to this website is because what it allows you to do is try like dozens of Linux distributions for free, and all in a virtual machine manner. What that basically means is that they have some sort of server running, the DistroSea team, and what they'll do is they'll spin up a virtual computer and let you try out these operating systems, of course with no data. It's like a clean slate, you try it, but of course there are some limitations. You can't go crazy downloading files onto these virtual machines. It's simply for you to try and test your operating system. And you notice that some of the most popular ones are literally flagged as being popular with Linux Mint, Ubuntu, then you kind of get the idea. So what you do is basically click on the one that you want, and there are different ways to get about this. And here's the other beautiful thing is that you can try different versions of the operating system. Some people might find this to be overkill, but I think this is really cool and amazing effort put on by the team. By the way, you can donate. I suggest you do. So you can select a version, which I've done. And because we're using it for free, I've not donated yet. I do plan to. A lot of this stuff for most day-to-day people, non-tech savvy, is just fluff. You don't need to know about this. But for other people, this might be some interesting information to know about. What basically happens if you have not donated is that you literally go in line and it tells you an estimated wait time. You just verify that you're human. And sometimes you'll notice you get your turn faster than it estimates, and you just hit start Ubuntu, but then you wait in queue. And this could be like 10 seconds, this could be another 2 minutes. You get the idea. So while that's loading, let's go over to the donate section. I think it's important to mention this, is that you get other benefits, not just for donating on their effort, because look, this is not easy for them. Now that we're ready, click continue. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention is that it does not like VPNs. I use Proton VPN, and it just wouldn't connect. So if you have a VPN and it's not working, you're gonna most likely disconnect it. Now keep in mind, this is not going to be the fastest experience you're gonna have. This is a very lightweight virtual machine because again, these people are doing it out of the goodness of their heart. I'm sure they get donations, but again, this is free. If you really want to use it for free, they're not going to have the most powerful hardware available for people across the world because it's a website at the end of the day. Okay, so we started up and now we're in Ubuntu, and you go through literally the operating system setup screen. You are setting up a new actual operating system. And you notice one interesting thing is that you can't connect to the internet. And you might be like, well, how's that possible? I'm connected to the internet, I'm using this. What it's basically saying, this is a virtual machine. For those of you that are not familiar with what this basically means is, I'm allowed to remote in and use it, but the virtual machine, like this virtual Ubuntu environment itself, cannot connect to the external internet. Okay, this is to prevent people from abusing their platform and whatnot, which makes total sense. This is basically like a trial method. So because I just want to trial it, I'm just going to go with try, because you have to. You can't install it because you'll notice it's grayed out. And here you have it. You notice that the interface is on here on the left. Again, not my choice to use Ubuntu. I do have my other reservations in some of the practices that they have at Canonical, I think if I pronounced it correctly. Now, one of the things you want to do is consider, I would say, is shut down. Now, you can actually close a tab and just get rid of it that way. Because I've been working in IT, best practice is always to, power off. It's more of a graceful process. I'm sure the DistroSea team have a better method of doing this when people just close their tabs. But for all I know, it's based on a timeout method. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just speed things up for other people that want to try things out. So I always power down the virtual machine. If we go back to DistroSea, let's try Linux Mint. This is the operating system that I primarily use. And here they have different flavors because Linux Mint has 3 different operating system interfaces, if you will. One is like super bare minimum, one is kind of like medium, and one has the full bells and whistles, but even then it's still super lightweight. But I'm going to use Cinnamon, which is the full version, but even then it's still cleaner than Windows 11 regular version, by easily available to most consumers. Although Windows 11 IoT is great, so I have a video explaining what Windows 11 IoT is. I'll put a link to that video in the video description. Before we dive more into Linux Mint, one of the things I want to mention is that during Ubuntu and Linux Mint, and pretty much any other distro I've tested, it takes a while to load because, again, this is not the most powerful hardware around, which I mentioned briefly before. But the other thing is that you get this kind of quick message flashing saying display output not detected. Don't panic and freak out. This happens to me. I would suggest just continue being patient and just wait for it to load up. It's probably just the virtual machine spinning up and trying to figure out what's going on and how to, get the operating system for your readiness, if that even makes sense. Anyway, continue on to things that do make sense. And here you have Linux Mint, very similar to the good old days of Windows. You get your applications and whatnot. These are the stuff that are pre-installed, but I mentioned there are more bare bones versions of Linux Mint you can try. But yeah, you get a whole bunch of stuff in here. You can try, you can right click, see what it means to customize the desktop. You get the idea. You can apply dark theme and see what it looks like. Is it to your liking? DistroSea is a fantastic website. I think everyone should give it a try. If you're just, I have this personal philosophy in saying to people, because a lot of people hate the way Windows 11 has become with AI, TPM requirements, and this and this and that. Here's my philosophy in saying, if you're using an operating system you have to fight with, it's not an operating system worth using. What do I mean by that is that some people will play with the registries, try to uninstall Teams in OneDrive, but then Windows updates the next month might reinstall it, and you're fighting with your operating system. It's not worth using then. But people become so comfortable, because people are creatures of habit. Try to break that habit. That's the only way you improve as a human being and as people. You need to try new things and explore and experiment and learn. That's another good thing. If you're not that tech savvy, doing simple things like this, you're learning. You can tell people, hey, I found this cool website, I'm learning Linux and this and that. People will like it, okay? So learn something. Don't become a victim to corporate big tech and their garbage operating systems and what things have become. So that's pretty much it. I hope you found this video useful. Be sure to check out DistroSea and consider donating, please. It's a wonderful website. And that's pretty much for a wrap. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, check out my website link in the description. Hit the like button. It does help. Subscribe. And thanks for watching.